I've been wanting to try this technique and the results were shocking. All you need is cornstarch or baby powder, a gel plate, a brayer, and acrylic paint. I'm starting simple by just rolling some acrylic paint onto my gel plate and then sprinkling some baby powder. Then I just place my paper and just use the brayer to press the paper onto my gel plate. Lift it up and the baby powder resists the paint so it looks as if it splattered the paper. Then I put a second color on the background that's left, place a paper and lift what's left over and I get a different result. This print is okay, but wait till you see what happens when I combine them with others. Now I'm going to do the reverse. I put the blue color first, sprinkle it with the baby powder, and then add my original teal paper on top, press with my brayer, and when I lift, I'm just amazed with the results. This is such a cool background. And of course, I have to try the opposite. So I put the teal on what's left over and use my original blue background and lift the print. But honestly, the layers just start building and you won't believe at the end what amazing results I get. However, there is still so much texture left on the gel plate that I take some white and add it to the plate and then press a paper on top so I can lift some of that amazing texture. And even after lifting it, I realized that there's still so much texture. So I am going to add even more to the background because I really want to lift it all up. I realized that I have to keep the paper a little bit longer on the plate. So when I add this green one, I try to leave it a little bit longer. I am always a little bit impatient when I do this, so I try to keep it as long as possible. But it almost cleaned all of it this time around. And look at the amazing texture that I get here. And this one is going to turn out even better once I add more stuff to it. So I finally decide to add white again, and this time I leave it alone for about 10 minutes, and this time I clean almost the whole plate and look at the amazing yummy texture that I get. However, you're going to wait till the end because you won't believe the amazing technique that I have in store for you. It's a little bit different than this one, and it's just unbelievable. Now, I really didn't like the dark results that I got before, so I add a little bit of lime green to the background, sprinkle it with the powder, and then added my dark background onto it. And look at this amazing distressed texture. I did have to use a little bit of a paper towel to remove all the powder that was left over. And when I removed it, you could really see the dark distressed texture underneath. And of course, with the leftover paint, I took some ghost prints of what was left. I just love all the texture that it brings onto my backgrounds, and I can't wait to use some of these papers in my projects. You could use these for cards, or you could use them for cutting up into collage pieces onto your art journals or junk journals. I am actually going to take pictures of them and include them in my Etsy shop. So if you want to get some of these, you can actually buy them from my Etsy shop if you love having distressed backgrounds in your projects. Now pay attention to this last technique until the very end because it's very different than what I did before. I started it the same way by just adding blue and adding the powder and taking a print. But then when I had the ghost print on the gel plate, I added a new color, which is the turquoise color, and added some powder. Then I took the brayer and set the powder into the paint. And without taking a print, I added a second color, which is the green, added powder on top of the green again in a different pattern, set the powder with my brayer onto the green, added another color, which is the royal blue color, rolled it, added the powder on top again, set the powder into the paint, and finally added the last color. But I had to switch brayers because my brayer was very caked on. Then I put in the paper and of course press the same way with the roller, but I had to let this dry for quite a long time because the paint needed a long time to dry because it had so many layers. But the texture that you get on this is just unbelievable. And if you think using baby powder on the backgrounds can give you some amazing texture, imagine how it would be if you could use your glue gun to create texture. watch this video right here with all these tips and techniques.